Yes, Bollywood and entrepreneurship have married themselves because it is none other than Bollywood actor Shilpa Shetty who talks about how she can invest in places that she can make a difference and where she's got a lot of passion. Yes, she's marking her entrepreneurial instincts and talks about multifold ROIs. My colleague Aishwarya Patil caught up with Shilpa Shetty to talk about her latest investment in Hunar Online courses and a lot more.
The female participation in the workforce is dropping year on year. 34 crore women in our country today are educated, but financially they are not independent. That's 25% of our population nearly. These are massive numbers, and as a country it's very hard for us to build the nation with such a large number of people almost forgotten, left behind, right? What we don't talk about as often is the number of women entrepreneurs is actually increasing year on year, and it's a nascent but a very strong trend. And that's really the service, that's really what we wanted to solve for at Hunar. I think a report by Bain said that by 2030, about 3 crore women entrepreneurs are expected to create 15 crore jobs in India. And that's sort of the journey that Hunar wanted to really support, help and lead. So everything about Hunar is built with the end goal in mind. We want to be available for you, to educate you, to skill you. We are here for you to support you. The support you don't get at home, our community, our teams will give you that support. We are here to certify you, give you recognition, but we are also here to help you start your business. We have courses in entrepreneurship, we have outcome opportunities. In Hindi we say, सीखने से सफलता तक, हुनर तुम्हारा साथ हमारा. And that's really that's what we deliver every single day.
When did the business bug bite you?
Because Shetty.
Do you believe it's really inherent in the Shetty community, this spirit of entrepreneurship and this business mind?
I don't know about having a business mind, but I think I have a sixth sense, and I think that comes from being a woman. I think we're able to dabble with a lot. I may have a bit of the business acumen that's handed down to me maybe from my genetics, but I go with my gut feeling, and I only invest where I feel I can make a difference and where I have absolute belief, and it comes from a place of passion. So if it is in the restaurant business, I love food, so I've invested in Bastion. But when it comes to Hunar, I really believe that it's important for women, to be empowered, and it's also a process of nation building, and that's the reason I'm affiliated with these things.
As one of our entrepreneurs though, can I add to that?
Sure.
Shilpa has the keenest insight on the consumer. I will come to her with, hey, this cool new feedback point we got from our students, and it's almost like she always knew it. She has the keenest insight into the consumer.
So I have a few questions for you, Shilpa, as an investor and entrepreneur. What's going on in your mind when you think about investing in a company? How do you take that call?
Interesting question. Like I said earlier, I just go with my gut. I obviously do a bit of due diligence, but it has to be something that's synonymous with me, and it has to come from, maybe I feel there's a lacuna in this area and maybe it needs some kind of encouragement from my end, or maybe it's a product that I really believe in and I feel maybe with me leveraging my name, it can go that extra mile. So there are lots of reasons, and obviously maybe at the end of it all, it has to also, it has to also make sense in terms of financials. So if it means an investment, if it's a startup, I look at it differently. If it's already doing well, it's already got a round of funding, I look at it differently. But yes, at the end of it all, I give it maybe 3 years to kind of prove itself. And then yes, there's some that turn into unicorns, and then there's some that are really doing well.
Well, on that note, your investment kitty, if we talk about that, how big is it? How widespread is it? I would just like to name few of them. Hunar is one of them, of course. There's Wicked Good. You invested 2.25 crore in the unjunking mission. in that business. Mamaearth, you bought out almost 16 lakh shares in 2022, and it's all set to take flight, and IPO, you're going to bag it big. So Kisan Connect, I mean, so many names there. How big is your investment kitty?
There are many.
And how much are you looking to cash in?
Honestly, money has never driven me. For me, it's about being in a position where I can be a trendsetter and I can be a decision maker. And I invest in people who I believe in and who believe in what they're doing. So I'm really fortunate. I feel my gut instincts have really worked in their favor and for me. So yeah, and I think a lot of people approach me now. I think they come and they do the litmus test with me. If Shilpa invests in us, maybe we have something going. So I take that as a huge compliment.
In fact, Mamaearth, if we look at the valuation, you'd be exiting with almost 55-60 crore rupees on that front. More than that. Please give us the number.
No, I mean, I was one of the early investors. My manager will be able to throw light, but I know for a fact that it's definitely more than that.
So what's your next big investment after this?
I honestly feel I need to invest in myself right now. I'm like a headless chicken. You talk about wearing all these caps. I don't have a head to wear it on right now, because for me, my first priority right now is my family, my kids. And while all this is being done, thankfully, I don't need to. What's great about being an investor is that you are not doing the daily running around. And you place your faith and your money in people who know what they're doing. And I think that really works for me. So I really don't know what comes up next. I'm going to play it by ear. There are a couple of very interesting brands that I'm looking into, and I'm still working on them. So let's see.
Well, one final question, and I'll let you go on that note after that. You do invest money, and there is a certain idea behind it. There's a certain aspiration behind it. When you do invest money, what kind of incremental value do you look at? That this is at least the amount of money I want to see it growing to this extent going forward.
See, I mean, if you're investing, I do a lot of I've always invested in, mutual funds and all of those things. And when you invest, when you're leveraging your name, you obviously work differently. You have to hedge your bets. But at the end of it all, it should not be a losing proposition for you. So at least you should have return on your investment in the next 3 years. And that's what I look at. And
what's your ROI looking like, if I may ask, since the time you started to now?
I'll have to look at Rahul, who's not in the room. But
roughly, just roughly.
I think it's 100x right now.
Wow.
No, really, I mean, touch wood. It's been brilliant. It's been a great run.
Let's move right